See Me, See My Ability, the podcast of the ARC Southern Chesapeake. I'm Rita Rich. I teach podcasting, host, and produce what you're listening to for the ARC Southern Chesapeake, previously known as the ARC Southern Maryland. Meet Jim Vail, who is co-creator of a meal planning tool that we've been using called My25, which helps our neurodiverse clients eat healthier foods and teaches all of us, our personal support personnel, executives, and family members about food as medicine.
I used to be the executive director of an organization very similar to the ARC Southern Maryland in the Chicago area. We had about 35 group homes. It stands to reason, I guess, that a lot of our clients, when I first got there, were overweight. And the thing that I forgot was that food equals love. That if you're a DSP and you're working with people, that if you give them more food, you are giving them more love. And that's why I personally believe that so many of our clients at one point in time were unhealthy, were clinically obese. And what I came to find out was that was very common across the industry. If you look at the 6 million people with IDD across the United States, about 1 million of them living in settings similar to the ARC Southern Maryland, 70% of them were clinically obese or overweight. And holy cow, that's a big number to kind of start chipping away at. We've helped a lot of people do that. There are some issues or some situations that we'd like to change, but by and large, it's a common problem throughout this industry.
How many years had you been working with an organization similar to ours?
And it depends on how you count a little bit, Rita. I was on the board of directors for a number of years, stepped away, and then came back on an emergency basis as the executive director. And the intervening 10 years that I was gone, I got familiar with clients, residential clients that I had known previously, and was just amazed at the weight gains that these people had developed over the past 10 years. I thought, well, good grief, what's the cause of that? And it's not rocket science. I figured out that if I'd been gone 10 years and they had gained 5 pounds per year, they were going to be 50 pounds bigger. And that was certainly the case. And that's what kind of drew us to this whole venture, this whole initiative of improving the health of people with developmental disabilities. It really was improving the health of our clients within the agency that I used to run. And USDA heard about it. The United States Department of Agriculture heard about what we were doing and wanted to back nationwide trials of what we were doing just to see if it could be replicated in other situations. And our results, our outcomes could be replicated in other states and other settings. And by gosh, they could. There's nothing unique about what we do. It's the premise is certainly food is medicine. And if you eat better, chances are you're going to feel better and you're going to lose weight. It's not necessarily a one-to-one relationship or a one-to-one ratio, but there's a lot to be said for it. The trick is trying to put the resources in place so that you can get to that state of being able to consciously improve your diet and the nutrition that you have on a daily basis.
Members of our ARC's nursing staff have noticed that clients are questioning whether certain foods can help them get off of medications that they've been given for years to help control chronic medical conditions, such as high cholesterol and blood sugar levels. Jim and I talked about more principles that are involved in the My25 platform, which helps with not only recipes complete with how-to videos, but also smarter ways to shop and order groceries for our group homes.
We believe in moderation versus deprivation as one of our core tenets. You'll hear us talk a lot about that plate rebalancing and proper plate portioning. But moderation versus deprivation is one of those things. You don't have to necessarily eat healthy every single day of the week, every single meal. It helps if you have some guidelines to keep in mind, such as eat your fiber, don't drink it. There are a lot of other things that we think are really kind of important in this. such to the point where if we can scaffold you with some resources that can help move you or at least guide your path towards better health, that's what we'd like to be able to do.
And you're helping the staff who has to do the thinking and planning for the people that we serve. I'd love to find out how we're doing and how long we've been doing it with you guys.
Happy and pleased to report the ARC Southern Maryland has really improved the health of the people supported. When we first started working with you, we saw only 32% of people at a normal BMI. BMI stands for body mass index. And there are ranges and clinicians have come up with what a normal, if that's a good word, BMI is. That's supposedly representing that you're not overweight, you're not underweight, that you have a good weight for the height that you are. So if 32% of people supported were at a normal BMI when we started, now after introduction and post My25, 62% of people supported of the ARC Southern Maryland are at or moving towards a normal BMI. In addition to that, you're going to find all sorts of great other health parameters that are improving. A1C levels or blood pressure readings or the amount of medications you're taking or the classes of medications you're taking. All those are improving concurrently, which is just great. And so congratulations to the staff at the ARC Southern Maryland for that.
That is wonderful to hear. It gives me hope. Because it's always a struggle. You said it. Food is love. And when you go through life's ups and downs, you try to, drown them out with a little nosh,
exactly
something
right.
to eat.
It is interesting how the body just gets used to added sugars as an example. It's just an example. If you do try an experiment, we wouldn't suggest it all the time, but if you do try to go ahead and cut sugars out of your menus, what you eat on a daily basis, at some point in time, 5-6 weeks within that experiment, you're going to find that sugar tastes unnecessarily sweet. And so you're going to cut back that way. But we just kind of inured ourselves to massive amounts of sugar in the foods that we eat. And it's just kind of self-fulfilling that you're going to eat more sugar and you're going to eat more sugar, and it's hard to get out of that rhythm. The insidious nature of a lot of food, a lot of prepared foods within the United States these days.
I noticed by going and checking out the training system, and you help people create grocery lists, and you've partnered with some grocery stores to actually have things prepared so that the staff can just go pick up what they need for that week's worth of meals, and boom, they're done. But of course, they have to work with your platform to pick what they want to make in order to get those lists to pop up and do the thinking for them, so to speak.
Exactly. I think what we're always trying to do is try to understand if there's a good word, maybe leakage is all right. If you come up with good menus, why aren't people eating them on a daily basis? So you're going to get daily toolkits of menus and daily prep steps that are all in conjunction with the people in each setting. So additionally, too, it saves a dramatic amount of time with shopping. You're basically pushing a button. You're going to say when you want the food delivered, and there's not the hour or two that our DSPs used to take in going to shop at the grocery store. And a very nice time savings for the staff in the home as well, too.
How did you become involved in your agency in Chicago? Was it somebody in your family that inspired you to get involved?
Interestingly, my wife was a special ed major in college, and so I always had kind of a natural gravity towards this population. In a former business, we served people in group homes as well, too. So even though we don't necessarily have a family member with a disability, we've been exposed to this population for a wide variety of years. And so there was kind of a natural affinity towards getting involved.
That was Jim Vail of the online and mobile app My25. Check out my25.com on the web. See me, See My Ability, the podcast of the ARC Southern Chesapeake, formerly known as the ARC Southern Maryland. You can find us on your favorite podcasting app and online at arcsoch.org. Leave us a review on the podcasting applications or email us at info@arcsoch.org. I'm Rita Rich.